Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's been a while since I made a video, so I wanted to hop on and make just a quick video. I'm going to do things a little bit differently here. So I'm using, with the growth of AI, Chat GPT, and different models out there, I wanted to kind of let people know how much it could help, um, not only with your health journey, but I would say with ME, CFS, and really generally all illnesses. And there's some reasons to be optimistic about what's coming ahead. Now, there's a lot of different concerns about AI and job losses for people, and a lot of those are valid concerns. But as far as medical research is concerned, and just having more information at our fingertips, I think it's actually really exciting. And in the spirit of that, I used Chat GPT to ask it, some reasons someone with ME CFS should be optimistic um, moving forward in the near future. So it's just five things. I'm going to go over them pretty quickly here. The first one is major research funding is increasing. Over the past few years, MECFS has seen a significant boost in research and grants from different agencies and foundations. So that's always good, and that always leads to treatments and understanding illnesses better. So I find that to be really exciting as that's growing more than ever. Um, Number two is stronger biological understanding. Multiple studies have now confirmed measurable biological abnormalities in ME/CFS, such as immune deregulation, mitochondrial dysfunction, and altered energy metabolism, impaired blood flow to the brain. There's just a lot of things now that have basically proven that uh, ME/CFS isn't like a mysterious fatigue that you've made up in your mind, or all the list of symptoms that we all know too well, dozens of them, unfortunately. It's a complex biological disease, and there's more and more evidence pointing to that. And I think that really solidifies a lot of patients who've gone to the doctor and maybe went to a doctor that didn't know a lot about ME/CFS, and they were told that there's nothing wrong with them, and that they're hypochondriacs, or this happens a lot with women, unfortunately, where they're dismissed at the doctor. So now there's just more and more data and evidence showing that that's just not true, and that it's a very serious and complex legitimate illness. Number three is post COVID long haul connection. The pandemic has created a surge in interest in post viral illnesses. Many COVID patients meet the criteria for ME/CFS. There's a lot of overlap, and now there's also not only overlap in symptoms, but there's overlap in research. There's a lot in common between the two, and there is more pressure from society to figure out, the long haul issue, and that could be tied to ME/CFS. So um, I guess one of the silver linings from the horrible pandemic that everybody went through. Number four is clinical trials and repurposed drugs. There's a growing pipeline of clinical trials testing both the new repurposed treatments such as immune modulators, antivirals. There's just a lot, and this also ties in AI again, whereas researchers and doctors can use AI as a tool to narrow down what drugs are currently on the market and the likelihood of how the drugs that are maybe used for something else can maybe potentially help ME/CFS. I think that's something that is exciting because these drugs are already have been approved, and before this would take many years to cross-reference and to figure out. And now AI models can help identify a list of those, and then researchers can dig deeper and then go into trials and make sure that there's a safety profile for people with ME and CFS. But it seems to be accelerating all these things, and it's exciting. There's more and more momentum. And last but not least, in this short list, is patient-led advocacy is growing. Global advocacy and awareness is growing, from documentaries to social media campaigns, international events, foundations. Policymakers are prioritizing ME and CFS a little bit more. people who've had this illness for a long time know that 6, 7 years ago, even, there was just no momentum, really, very little momentum, I should say. And people who've had this for 10, 15, 20, 30 plus years, it was daunting. There was literally nothing. I've mentioned this many times on this channel, how when I first got sick, it was a long time ago now, decades now, and I went into a Google search and Google searched ME CFS. And, for people who are younger who might have ME CFS, imagine this happening. You Google something and it just says no results. It's hard to imagine now because we have so much information to tap into now. But 20 years ago, when first getting sick and going through this, as I tried to use technology, internet, every avenue I had to get better, there was just no answers. There was nothing. There was no information. There wasn't social media to connect people. There weren't support groups yet like there are on Facebook, or someone posting on any other social media platform group. So I think these are exciting times, not only for ME and CFS, but I would say for any health issue in general. I do think that AI and the technology that it brings could really accelerate treatments and hopefully one day a full cure. But I do believe, good times are coming for people with chronic illnesses. So if you're having a bad day, I hope that is some positive news. I know it's not going to impact right away, but things are happening. Before, nothing. There was no momentum at all, and now there is. So I hope this video helps a little bit. I hope everyone's doing well, and I hope I can post more often. Till next time, take care.